hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for Generate Listing Leads with Facebook Ad in Command. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Ashley Coppola, and I am the Regional Tech Trainer for the New York Tri-State and Manhattan regions, which means I cover all of the market centers in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So there are 40, oh, hello friend on Zoom over there. Okay, yeah, so across 3 states, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, I have 47 market centers that I cover and just under 10,000 agents. So there's a lot of you beautiful people that I get to see and travel around throughout the region. My main functionality is exactly what I'm doing here today, traveling to teach agents how to use not just Command, but social media, AI, technology in their real estate business to grow their business, as well as help the market center leaders to do the same thing with their market centers. I've been with Keller Williams since 2007. Was not always the full-time thing that I was doing. I came in and started really doing it full-time in 2019. I've been an agent with my dad. I was an admin on his team. And then I moved into market center leadership in 2020. I've been a director of agent services, a team leader, and a director of technology for 10 offices before stepping into this role about 1.5 years ago. So that's a little bit about me. And like I said, today we're going to learn how to use 2 pieces of Command to generate listings. So we're going to focus a little bit on our agent websites and the home valuation tool and how to do something really cool with Facebook ads that only we have the technology to do, and that is to target our database. So typically when you run a Facebook ad, you are targeting external people who don't know you, right? I always get that question, why can't my friends and family see my Facebook ads? And typically the answer is, well, simply because it's meant to target people externally. And we've got something special built into our platform because Facebook helped us build the social media ad platform for our system. We can actually scrub your database or compare phone numbers and email addresses with the phone numbers and email addresses of all the Facebook profiles that have ever been created. And if one of those matches, both don't have to match, just one. But if the phone number or the email address match, it's going to guarantee that that person who's in your database is going to see your Facebook ads. So, and of course, now the clicker's not going to work. We will pivot and use nothing. There we go. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly we're going to cover today. So we're going to start by looking at the new agent sites. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the new functionality because in my travels, a lot of people don't realize how much the new agent sites can do. We're going to specifically look at setting up the home valuation tool. Show of hands, did everybody know that there's a home value tool built into our website? Okay, we got 2 people, love it. So we're going to talk about setting that up so that we can use that as our destination in our Facebook ad. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to run a Facebook ad and target our database. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the agent mobile app and how that kind of affects what we do. So for starters, what is it that I get with my site? So standard, as soon as you join KW, or if you've been with us for a while, and as soon as this launched, you got these couple of things. So you get a property search that you can see an example of it right here, which gives you access to all of the properties in the United States and Canada and in the 62 countries that we are now live internationally. So you can, yes, search if somebody wants to buy that vacation home in Paris, France, they should be my best friend. But you can actually help them locate those properties. Then you've got featured properties, which is included on the homepage. And of course, it's hidden by the little bar that's down there because I couldn't hide it. So I'll move it for now. You get featured properties, which you can decide where the center point of those featured properties are. You can change the layout. You can also decide if you want to just feature your listings, or if you're somebody who doesn't have listings of your own, you can just share those of everybody in your market center. Or you can just feature any listing off of MLS. So you've got various different ways that you can feature different properties. You can say, I don't want to show rentals. I only want to show for sale. So there's a lot of customization that you can do there. Then we get a blog. So the first 4 articles that are in there were written by Keller Williams. They are going to be publishing some additional articles over time. But for starters, we've got these 4 articles. You can also pull in your own articles as well, or write your own blog posts. You get an About Me section, and then you get a Leave a Review page to create some testimonials or to make sure that those are shared on your page. And then you can also share those testimonials on your website as well, which you can see here. What's not listed here is that we now have some layouts. So you've got different options for how you want to, or the themes rather, so you can change the colors, you can change the look and feel. We're gonna do a little live demoing a little bit later today, so you guys can see what that looks like. And when I come over here, it works. Yes, no? Okay. So there's also digital open house sign-in sheets, which I find not a lot of people realize that these are available. So you no longer have to create a page every time you would like to do an open house. They're built in. So all you have to do is visit your agent site, search for the listing or the property that you're hosting the open house at. And then you go and you click the URL at the very top of the page. And at the end of it, you type in the words / and open house. You can either do it with the hyphen or as one word without the hyphen. Both of them will get you to the same place. When you do that, it's going to take that listing page that had a mortgage calculator, when the next open houses are, other homes that are for sale in the area, all the property details, and it's going to condense it to what you see on the screen here, which just shows the photos. Says welcome to with the address, and then gives a form that they can type in their information that gives them access to the house. As soon as this gets filled out, it actually goes right to your mobile phone. So if you guys have the Command mobile app downloaded, it's going to instantly come there. So I use that as their ticket to entry, especially when there's a long line. I'll create a QR code with that URL. I'll tape it to the front door. I'll tape it to the open house sign down at the bottom of the driveway and let them scan it in. If I now ask them if they've checked in yet, I will then just check my notifications, and if that person's name is on the list, awesome. Now you can enter. So it's a great way to help manage the open house, as well as get all of those leads to go directly into Command, so you don't have to upload them later. So there's also something in there called automatic save searches. Now, this is not something that we advertise out to our clients. This is just for you guys to know. So the first time a client goes to log into your website, it's going to ask them to set a location. If they are anywhere other than the UK or the EU, this saved search functionality is going to automatically launch for them. So all they have to do is log in, give a location, and then they go and they perform a search. But they can't search for a specific address, but let's say they just type in Rutherford, New Jersey, and then they set their parameters. Oh, it's got to be a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, whatever their other criteria is. Then they get distracted and they close out of the website and they walk away. Before, nothing would happen. Now with this automatic save search feature, it's going to automatically set them up for weekly emails of that criteria. So it's a great way to get for you to now just kind of start getting emails out to them so that you are now in front of them. And now hopefully they're going to click in your website and they start to use it more to get some additional functionality. But the only thing that has to happen is they need to be logged in. They need to have set that location. They set up that consumer search. And it only happens when it's the very first search that's created. So if you haven't created any new searches and they haven't created any searches for themselves, that's when this auto functionality is going to happen. But like I said, it will allow you to just start to get in front of these people and it's kind of like done on the side without them even realizing that it's happening. So that's just a little bit about, okay, cool. I don't know why, like sometimes it wants to work. So that's the stuff that comes standard. I feel like I skipped, no, maybe not. So let's talk a little bit about customizing. And this is where we're going to talk about how we create that home value widget. So we've got a lot more customization now. So you now have a customizable homepage. So you can change the fonts, you can change the colors, you can adjust the layout. You now can add additional modules. In fact, if you want that home value tool to be right on your homepage, you can add it right to your homepage. You can reorder everything how you want. Previously, you had like 4 boxes and that was it. Like whatever you got on there, you got. Now you've got some additional customization happening. So again, we had the ability to post blogs before. Well, we didn't really have blog posts before. You would have had to create a custom page in order to do that. Now it's just built in. So that's something that's new with our newer sites, and you get SEO exposure through them. With custom pages, the sky is unlimited. I'm gonna pull up my website later to show you when we're creating the Facebook ad. I have my Calendly built into it. I've got a mortgage calculator built into it. I've embedded websites into my page because I'm a KW NextGen instructor. So the whole KW NextGen website is literally on a landing page inside of my website. I did the same thing because I'm also the director of ops for KWYP. So we have a lot of cool things that we can do with HTML and iframe codes. And for those of you who are like, I'm not really that techie, I promise you it's like copy and paste. So then we've got custom templates. So the mortgage calculator, there's a YKW page, a property landing page, and the home value tool that are all pre-templated, meaning you don't actually have to change anything. You can just say, I want this, click it, and say publish, and it will work. You can obviously add it to make it your own and add your own images to the background, change the title, but if you are somebody who's just like, I just want it to be there, I don't want to worry about all that crazy customization, it's ready to go as is, if that's what you want to do. And then we have additional landing pages, which is something that we had before, but again, we've got some more customization options with that. Landing pages, though, are not going to show up on your menu. They're going to be standalone, so it'll still have a URL that you can share out and text out, but it's not going to live on your web page. So it's going to just be like its own site using the platform. It's kind of like its own thing. So let's talk about adding that home value page. So again, it does require either a custom page or a landing page. It's going to create a URL that can be used to capture leads. This is another thing that I had an agent take a postcard and mail it out to a whole farming area. She put a QR code that went to this What's Your Home Value tool, and boom, that's another way that you can use this piece to get some additional listing leads. They're gonna just type in their address here, and then they're gonna hit let's go. Then it's gonna ask them for a name, email, phone number. That's it. They're instantly then going to get a range. Full disclosure, if it's the first time anybody has used your website, there's a chance that range may be kind of large. But the more people that use your site, the more accurate the information is going to become. And I always use this same exact address. So when I demo this in a little bit, it's my parents' house where I grew up in Manalapan. I know the neighborhood like the back of my hand. And I can promise you that it's pretty accurate. So the range has gone from like $100,000. Now it's usually somewhere between 50 and 60,000. But the more that people are using the home value tool on your site, the more the algorithm behind it is going to learn the true details of the areas. So the more accurate it's going to become. It doesn't have to be the same property all the time, but it needs to be used in order for any of the algorithms in the background to really pull in all the data correctly. Fair enough? Makes sense? Cool. Customers not only will they receive a value on the screen, they only get a value on the screen. There's no follow-up that's sent unless you set it up. It's like a one-time thing, so it's not like a pestering or anything like that. The other thing is every now and then, typically it happens if there's bad Wi-Fi connection or whatever the case is, or not good service. Somebody might put an address in, it'll come up that no value is found. It's just something that'll happen if there's not great service, but usually if they go and try a second time, it'll pop back up. Even if somebody gets a no value situation, you're still gonna get that lead. And again, similar to the open house, as soon as they fill it out, who gets a notification? And it's gonna give me their name, their email, their phone number, the range of the home, and their address. And I'm gonna get that instantly. So I could be on a listing appointment and say, ooh, okay, somebody wants to know about the value of their home. As soon as I walk out of that listing appointment, I can call that person and get that information. So let's talk about targeting our database. Now that we know about the home value tool, we build it on our webpage, it's ready to go. How do I target my database? I'm not gonna read this whole thing. This is there for you guys to talk about targeting your database. But again, when we're targeting our database, this is people that know and love us. They're past clients, they trust us. We already have a relationship with them. So I might be sending personal contacts, information about neighborhoods or specific zip codes, possibly clients, things specifically targeting clients with kids or pets, hobbies, client events, things like that. I might be targeting people that have bought more than once. So these are just some of the things that you want to consider when you are thinking about the content or the type of information that you're going to put out there for a social ad. But everybody may, especially in today's market, everybody knows I'm in real estate, so they always talk to me about real estate. So why wouldn't people be curious with the way prices have risen about what the value of their home is now? So sometimes just sending them that I feel like Facebook ads, because everybody's always doom scrolling on social media, it's not quite as aggressive as if you send a text message or a phone call. It's a little bit more passive, right? So let's talk about actually setting up that database. Now, all of these ones with the little blue icon underneath or the blue banner, those all tell you that they are using a Facebook lead form, meaning you're going to capture a lead. That's for targeting new people that are not in your database. So those 5 types of Facebook ads do not have this toggle. So if you happen to click on a Facebook ad and you go to build it out and you realize that there's not a toggle for target my database, because you're in the wrong one. You have to use one of the ones, the 2 options at the bottom for Facebook and Instagram that have the yellow banner that says I'm going to use my own landing page. So full disclosure, the Facebook lead itself or the Facebook ad itself is not going to generate any leads. If you were to look at the results, you'll see a lot of clicks, you'll see you'll see unique visitors and stuff like that, but you will get 0 leads. Why? Because these people are already in your database. And if we're going to ask them to put in their phone number, email, and contact information, their name, during the home value widget, if we ask them to do it on the Facebook ad before that, the chances of them filling it out a second time on the home value tool decrease. So we don't want to annoy them and be like, well, why am I filling this out a second time? I just did this 30 seconds ago. So we're going to eliminate using that Facebook lead form. So if you set this up and you don't get any leads through the Facebook ad, that's okay, because those leads will show up in a different way through the home value tool. Does that make sense? Yes.
So is it safe to say that's more for the purposes of staying top of mind?
If I'm targeting my database, yes.
Yeah.
Could I also do the same thing and target people outside of my database? Absolutely.
You would want to capture.
Correct, exactly. So you can run the ad as both. In fact, there's also a backup plan when I'm doing this, and I'll explain why there's a backup in a second. But yeah, so in this case, if I'm targeting my database, it's to stay top of mind, but to also try to figure out, oh, well, maybe I do want to know what the value of my home is. It may spark interest of somebody who's inside your database, a friend, a family, a cousin, even if it ends up being a referral out of state, that if they didn't get that or they didn't see your ad on Facebook, they may not have thought to fill that out. You know what I mean? So it is, in this case, yeah, it's probably more for staying top of mind and being the first one to get that lead from this, right? Yes.
So one of the clients, she's here in New Jersey, but
Okay.
she's getting emails from command for properties in Texas. So she's getting them automatically. Why? What happened?
So either somebody had like her email address and possibly put her on some type of an alert incorrectly, or she accidentally saved a search, but she should, if she has a username and a password to log into your website, she should be able to edit those notifications herself. So she should be able to turn them off or like stop getting those emails. So if we need to talk later, we can, but there is a way for the clients to actually change their preferences and delete saved searches. So if it was created as a saved search, then it's probably because there's a saved search connected to her profile somewhere. For Texas somehow. But so that's what we do. We're gonna choose attract buyers and sellers. In fact, when I go to run this ad, there's a toggle on top that says, is this for buyers or is this for sellers? And then the content that you see here, as far as the body text and the headline, is gonna automatically change. There's also the magic wand that you see there. So you can also use our version of AI, Quick, if you will, is the name of it, to rewrite the content. So if you want to adjust it, you have the AI built in to be able to do that. And then once this goes away, you'll see that after you put the text in, it's going to ask you to put media. So you'll put in an image or a photo or a video or whatever the case is of a random home. In fact, or there's graphics inside of the design library that are already created for what's the value of your home or what's your home worth. So you're also able to just import them into your social media ad if you have anything created inside of the designs library. And then we're gonna pick a destination. So our destination at this point should be, what's the value, our home value tool that's built into our website, right? Now let's talk a little bit about the actual part where we are tagging our database. So when we get to target, we are still gonna have to set a target radius and set where that pin is gonna drop. The reason why we're still doing this is because it's actually a backup tool. So when we run Facebook ads, they will not run if there's less than 100 people for the algorithm to send stuff out to. Now that is Facebook's rule, not ours. In fact, if you were to run an ad directly on Facebook, usually it turns red or green if it's too wide or not a big enough audience. We don't have the same red and green, but this will tell, so this is a way to protect if you don't have enough people in your database that have been identified that they have a Facebook profile. And that might happen because you have a work email and they signed up with a personal email on Facebook. If the phone number is the same, if they have the same cell phone number, it'll match. But if they're different, that's why somebody may not show up. It may not actually send to that person because you might have a work phone number or a different email or whatever the case is. So just in case that happens and the list of people that you're sending this out to doesn't hit 100, you'll also have a little bit of a backup plan where it is going to also send it out to people who don't know you. So it's kind of like you'll get both for the price of one. Then there'll be a little target underneath here, a little toggle that you literally just have to turn on. And it says target my database, and you just flip the little switch, and then this drop-down menu is gonna pop up where you can add tags. So the only way right now to identify the people in your database that you would like this to go to, so maybe you have people who are already potential sellers and you got them tagged and you want to put them in there, but that's only 50 people. That's not going to send. Well, I mean, it will send because of the backup, but so you may want to put multiple tags. Also, you notice on the screen right now that it's going through, it's putting multiple cities. The multiple cities just has to do with that backup plan. It's not, oh, like only the people in your database are going, like from those cities are going to get it or anything like that. Anything you see with the targeting is strictly just for, well, for the radius is strictly for that backup plan. But you can add multiple tags. In fact, I found it best to just always send that Facebook ad out to my entire database. I don't care if they're agents in the company or, oh, not in the company, but agents already. I don't care if they're friends or family that I have in Arizona or vendors that are in my database. They're just gonna get it. It's just going, they're gonna see it on Facebook, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like we're bombarding them with a million emails. So I created a tag called, it just says database, where literally the entire, every single person that goes into my database gets that tag. So when I wanna run a Facebook ad that targets my database, all 4,500 and however many people are in there are just gonna get it. They're just gonna see it on Facebook if they match. So that's a tip if you guys wanna do that. Otherwise, you can just manually go ahead and add all the different tags of people that you want to do. But as I mentioned earlier, What it does when we target the database is it just compares phone numbers and email addresses of who are in your database with the phone numbers and emails of every single Facebook profile on the internet. Only one of them has to match, it doesn't have to be both, so the email or the phone number, and then it'll guarantee that that person's gonna be part of your entire, the viewing, they're gonna definitely be a unique user. Any questions about the targeting or any of that so far? No? Alrighty. So, with the mobile app, again, if you guys didn't know there was a Command mobile app, there's the QR codes that you guys can go ahead and scan them. The reason why I love this is because as leads come in, whether they are from a regular Facebook ad, the home value widget, anything else on my website, the open house app, or the open house website, the sign-in pages, it's all here. It all gets instantly sent to me. In fact, I can actually just hit the phone number and call them directly from there. It's not opening up some weird phone app, it's just gonna link directly to your operating system of your phone. And then it's gonna track it. So as soon as you hang up the phone, you get a ping that says, hey, Ashley, did you wanna, put notes in for this call and track it? And you just say yes. And if you're on the go, you can talk to text to put your notes in. You can also just regularly text your notes in. You can say, it's gonna ask you, did they answer? Did you leave a voicemail? Whatever the case is, and then it's gonna track it. And also, if I'm somebody who is really honing in on my pipeline and monitoring the number of appointments and contacts I'm making, it's really, really easy if I am using my address book in the mobile app as my regular address book for the phone, rather than having to call it and then manually track phone calls and all of those things. But you can also see any of the neighborhoods that they're a part of. So if they have an address and that they do the home value widget, you can actually find the neighborhood and look up more information about what is in the neighborhood. So when you go and try to get an appointment, you've got some more information. So it's all connected and it's all there. Some additional highlights is, again, you can access your entire database, all of your tasks, and all of your notifications on the go. It easily adds all of the contacts from your phone into the database. You can view and manage those daily tasks. Mention that you can make single phone calls. You can use your phone or WhatsApp, whichever you prefer. Same thing with text messages. You can send single or bulk texts through Twilio or your regular phone number. Oh no, you can't do the bulk text from there, sorry. Bulk texts have to be through Twilio, but single text can go through there as well, and then also they get tracked. You can add and remove your contacts, you can add tags, you can switch between personal and team accounts if there's anybody on a team account. You can manage all of the in-app notifications. There's not only a digital business card via QR code, but there's a QR code scanner. So if somebody else has a Blink or a Apple or whatever other QR codes there are out there, you can scan theirs directly into Command. And then you can also manage your entire opportunity pipeline. So, with that being said, I'm just going to flip this around because I'm going to show you guys, we're gonna live demo going through how quickly it is to add that home value widget on your website and how quickly we can go in and create our Facebook ad. So I'm just gonna scooch this over. Okay, so I've come to Command. The first thing that I want to do is make sure that I have a home value widget on my website. So I'm going to click on websites, which is the very last icon on the bottom, and I'm going to click Edit Agent Site. From here, I do have to hit expert mode up in the top corner because the only way to do custom pages is to do it from here. I can edit my theme. So notice my theme looks a little bit different than the one that was on the screenshots because I did change my theme to the new modern theme. And I have a video up here at the top. All of that, excuse me. The theme itself can be changed here just by clicking on Design Studio and choosing the new modern. If I click Edit Theme, I can change the different colors. I've gone with Pewter Dark. You guys can choose whichever of the color schemes you would like. You can choose a font, and then you can choose the different corners. Between just the fact that there are two templates, two templated layouts, the fonts, the colors, there's over 250 different possibilities as to what you guys can make up for your website. But you can choose that. That you can do here. But we need to go to expert mode for the custom pages.
Of course.
Yes.
Your video is on your front page, is that a stock video
Mhm.
from there?
Not from there, no. I got that off of Adobe because Adobe lets you take 3 stock videos without having to create an account. So that's what I did. Close out of this. All right, so here's the website editor. I know it can look a little scary for people who feel like they're not tech savvy, but I promise it's not that hard. We're going to just use this template right here. Or not going to template home valuation. That's it. Boom. We're gonna click that and add it on. If I want to make any changes to my homepage, I'm gonna come down here to where it says custom homepage somewhere. I scrolled too far. I don't know what's up with this mouse. There we go. Custom homepage, your journey starts here. So these are all of my custom pages. I already have a what's your home value tool, but we're gonna pretend we're starting from scratch. So if I wanted to truly start from scratch, I can choose custom page. But like I said, this is already templated, so I'm just gonna click template home valuation. And there it is. So here's the widget, ready to discover your home's value. Let's find your home to get started. So this is it. If I don't want to change anything, I don't have to. I can literally hit publish and just be done with this piece. To make it more me, like I don't want it to be called home valuation. I want it to be what's your home worth? Now that's going to change the internal name. I want to add a header. So that's also now going to what's your home worth? Again, I could leave it as just a plain black background if I wanted to. Or I don't know if there's any photos on here, so we'll see. I'm not going to search for it, but from here I could add a photo if I wanted to. In this case, I'm just going to leave it because this is not my normal computer. But you can go ahead and you can add a photo behind this as well. Here's the home value tool. So if I click on it, again, I can also customize where it says ready to discover your home's value and the description underneath. So I have full capabilities of customizing that if I want to. And then if I really wanted to add some more stuff, like if I didn't want it to just have the home value tool, I can add additional modules. So I can add some other information. So maybe this would be a good place to highlight towns that I focus on and use one of these standard lists to highlight a town, and when they click on it, maybe it goes to the town's website, whatever that looks like. Here's another blog, using the blog setup to again highlight other things. If you do any kind of staging or other key things that you may do for your clients, you can use these different lists to highlight some of your services that you might provide for sellers and things like that. You can click on additional modules, which also has download my app. You can add a form to it. You have the HTML coding, iframe codes. Again, they're not as scary if you just, a lot of websites have the code already written. You just have to copy and paste it. You can put preferred vendors on there. So there's also a virtual tour from the property landing page that you guys can add. So various different things if you want to make it real fancy. But like I said, you don't have to go and do anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this as is because like I said, I don't have a picture. Normally I would put a picture there and then I'm just going to hit publish. This might yell at me and tell me I already have a home. Yeah, okay. I already have a what's your home worth on there, so it's gonna yell at me. And we're gonna say that. What's your home worth to? Publish. There we go. So now this is gonna be live on my website. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard by clicking on the KW here, and I'm gonna open up my So if I click more, What's your home worth? This is the one that I created before. Well, this is the one I've had before. Let me just refresh this because it doesn't look like the new page loaded yet. Sometimes it takes a minute for the pages to show up. Yeah, it's taking a minute, so I'm just gonna refresh it, but this is what the page I did mine looks like with the video, with the picture behind it. So again, I'm gonna just show you guys exactly what this looks like when it comes through. So they put the address in, let's go. You're just one step away, then they're just gonna just ask for name, email, phone number, and email. Also, if that person is already in your database, it is not going to create a whole new contact. It's just going to, again, use the email and phone number that they have. To just add it to their timeline. So it's not gonna create anything new, it's just going to, like I said, so it's just gonna link already to whatever contact you have for them in your database. And boom, this is the graphic, this is what they get with their range. This one is about 45,000 right now, the range. Connect with Ashley, your photo will show up here because it's your website. And again, it tells you in various different places, it's an estimate, it's not an appraisal, it shouldn't be a substitution for an expert. So contact an agent and then you are positioned here as the local expert. So this is what that looks like. And I know my friends on Zoom can't see it, but I did just get a home valuation request right there with the red KW that says Ashley Capola requested a home valuation. Their reported range was about $723,000. So I got it. If I were to click on this, it opened up Ashley's contact right here. So I can literally hit the phone number and call myself, which I'm gonna do, and it's gonna give me an error because I'm calling myself, and that's fine. Because now as soon as I hang up, there's that add activity, and I'm gonna hit yes, I wanna add the activity, and then no answer, and then I can leave a message or whatever the case is. Now I'm gonna save it, and now both of those instances will live on the timeline. So I'm gonna go back over to command for just a minute and show you guys where that looks like, so. Notice I'm in my own database 16 times. So here's the call that I literally just logged, and here's my home valuation range. So they literally, you get it instantly, and now we've got the AI summary that pops up over here. So here's another fun fact. If your clients are using the home value tool and they start doing searches and they click 5 different listings on your website, this AI tool is going to refresh after every 5 instances. So if they do home valuations on the same property, a lot of times, it'll actually say, hey, you may want to call this person, like next steps. It gives you next steps because they've done a home valuation 5 times in the last 48 hours. They may be interested in listing their property. Like it actually will start to say that. So pay attention to the AI summaries when you're inside of your contacts. Any questions about building the home value tool on the website? Okay. So I'm just gonna go into designs for 30 seconds just to show you guys the different home value tool designs. I'm not gonna design one now because I want to get into the actual building of the Facebook post, but you click on social, you click next. And on the left-hand side, there is a whole bunch of different templates. We don't want these. We want to go to lead generation, and then home value. Here's what's your home worth, curious about selling. You guys can select any of these pre-created templates. You can change the photos, you can change the fonts, you can customize them, or if you're really just looking for something quick that you don't have to do a lot to, you just swap out the photo, the office logo, that's the DBA one here for your office logo, and you can post as is. Anything you create inside of the designs library, I'm gonna show you in a second, it's gonna automatically be clickable for you inside of the Facebook campaign. So once I have my website added and I've got the design inside of here, or I created it on Canva or whatever that looks like, I'm gonna click on campaigns. I'm going to click create campaign, and then I'm gonna go to paid ads. And then as I mentioned during the slideshow, I wanna make sure I'm choosing one of the options that has the yellow bar at the bottom. Because again, we do not want to inconvenience the agent, the client, and have them have to fill out their contact information twice, because the second time when we really want it the most so that they put it into the home value tool, they're less likely to, they're more likely to just blow it off and be like, oh, I already gave them my contact information, I don't wanna do it again. So we're gonna use one of these two options. So I'm gonna choose attract buyers and sellers. I can, if you're like me and you run like 65 Facebook pages, you can choose which one you want it to be on. So you can toggle between them. Here's the targeting. Full disclosure, there is 100% a glitch right now. They were working on updates and it did make the toggle disappear. KWRI is aware of it, so it also brought back the TikTok ads, so it's not on here right now. So if you try to do this today, it's not gonna work, simply because one of the updates kind of messed it up. But here is, I would put the zip code in, same way that I would before. There's all the different other countries, because apparently that's what we're doing today. I just want English town. I'm gonna set my radius. So the only thing I can't show you guys right now is turning the toggle on. But you saw it on the screen. You guys will also get a copy of the slide deck. I'll send it to Amanda so that she can send it to you guys. There's also some clickable links and videos on there that you guys can rewatch as well. So the only thing I can't show you is turning the toggle on and then using the database. But what I did do, let me just open this up over here for a second. I'll show you guys where I created the database tab. I'll do that afterwards. So you'll set your target radius, you'll set your zip code. If you click select from media, here's a home value that I already had in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do confirm and close. Now you'll notice my ad preview, I just clicked on it real quick so that you guys can see what it looks like. Now thinking about selling your home, discover how, like that was already there. I didn't even have to touch that, because here's the text. So it already went to attract sellers. Here's what it says. If I click attract buyers, notice how it automatically says, it automatically changes for you. I can also do custom, and I can write whatever I want. So I'm just gonna leave it under attract sellers, and it's already talking about getting a free home valuation. So I don't even have to touch this, it's already done for me. Then from here, I could copy and paste the URL from the landing page, but I can also just click landing page and then choose it right from here. And here's that what's your home worth to, that's the one that I just created with you guys. But I'll click that one. And then you've got your default, the compliance logo, and you hit proceed to last step. So in this case, if I'm using that yellow option to attract buyers and sellers, I actually don't even have to worry about like the ad copy. It's already written for me. I can edit it, I can change it if I want to, but I don't have to. So then you hit your start date and end date. Now with this, guys, just because there's unique users doesn't mean that that person isn't going to see it multiple times over the course of the week or so that you're running this. So I don't recommend doing Facebook ads ever for like 30 days at a time. I would stick to 5 to 10 days, because even if you want to repeat the same ad multiple times and do it for 30 days, if you're using the same photo or the same language, it gets stale. So you can still target the same people and do a home value option, but you want to do it in smaller increments so that you have the option of changing the photo, in case people don't like it. Or you can change the wording and things like that to see if you get more clicks, because if you just run something for 30 days, sometimes it doesn't translate the way that you want to. The other thing I want to point out with Facebook ads specifically is if you guys are not consistent, your results are never going to change. Like I always get from people, oh, I ran a Facebook ad and I did get 35 leads, but they were all terrible. Okay. How many times have you run a Facebook ad? Well, just the once, because the leads were terrible and they never did it again. I'm like, okay, well then the algorithm is never going to get better for you. You're never gonna get stronger leads because the algorithm rewards spending more money and engaging with more people. So you have to, I would say, one thing that I did, another trick with Facebook ads, whether you're targeting your database or just doing them in general, there is one type of ad that I will run for 30 days at a time in the background for $1 a day, just to trick the algorithm a little bit into learning who you are and paying attention to be like, okay, they're spending money every single day. And I will go on my website and pull up all of the open houses in a specific, in a specific area. You can, when you search for open houses on your website, that URL that it creates at the top is sticky. So as the open houses get added to that zip code or that town or that city or whatever the case is, like I did a search for all of Monmouth County open houses, took that URL and made that the destination of a Facebook ad that I ran for $1 a day in the background when I first started running Facebook ads, so that the algorithm I could almost like manipulate the algorithm a little bit to be like, ooh, this person is spending money every day. Because while we do have an agency account with Keller Williams, which allows us to get lumped in as a company, so anytime one of the 180,000 agents runs a Facebook ad, we all benefit, because it just says, ooh, this person spent billions of dollars in the past, but on a different Facebook page, so we still want to put them in really great placement so that a lot of people can see that information, but it may not be the best if that Facebook page hasn't used it a lot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So we benefit from each other every time we run an ad, but if our Facebook page is not actually running ads consistently, our quality of leads is not going to get better. There are definitely people, now mind you, not the first, but National Association of Realtors conversion rates for internet leads, so that includes Facebook, whatever, is 1 to 2% conversion rate. So that means if you get 100 leads and you get one lead out of it, you're golden. One person answers the phone, you're at the national average out of 100 leads. There are agents who have consistently been using our Facebook platform that since I guess this was launched in 2020. It wasn't part of the initial launch. But since 2020, that we're converting their internet leads at like a 28%. They were getting 28% of those people on the phone. So, but it was with consistency and they were running ads every single day. That's where I got the idea of that, running the ad in the background to help manipulate the algorithm. So spend that $1 a day to get the ads kind of going, and then that gives you a little bit of wiggle room with the other ads that you're going to spend $30 or $40 for a week. You don't have to do them quite as often. Yes.
Are you running them consistently year round or just every once in
The
a while?
30, well, I stepped out of sales after I moved into this role, so I'm not doing it anymore. But when I was doing them consistently, I was running that $30 ad every month. Every month.
Maybe changing the picture once a month.
Correct.
And rerunning it.
Right. So yeah, so that I would change that was going every single month, because then I didn't have to run one of these ads every week. I could do one this week and then wait 2 weeks and do another one, or run one a month, because that other $1 a day ad was in the background, tricking the algorithm into thinking I was running an ad every single day.
And the $1 a day one, was that to your database or?
No, that went out to everybody. Yeah, so that one went out to everybody. This kind of stuff went to the database, the more specific things.
Mhm.
But most of the ads I was doing at the time were to get new leads. It wasn't a lot of the database stuff. And then from here, I'm gonna set a budget. Honestly, somewhere between $3 and $10 a day, especially for a single agent, is a really good ad spend. So in this case, this is running for about 5 days. Yeah, 5 days, a little over 6 days, so it's $8.33 a day, so a $50 budget for like 6 days is good. I wouldn't go lower than $3, and honestly, if you do more than 10, it's probably gonna generate too many leads if I was actually pulling leads in. Because this is going to my database, you can do a bigger ad spend so that your people see it more. But just don't, stay within your budget, but I would still say stay around that $10 mark if you can. Then you put your billing information in and you hit go, and then usually within a couple of hours, Facebook's gonna just double check it and make sure that everything is a-okay, and then this will launch. Full disclosure, this launched, I guess, September of 2023. The target my database, the home value widget is brand new. So at the time I was teaching a class in my market centers. We were teaching this, and it was going to a Google form where they would fill out that same information that we requested for the home valuation. One of the top agents in my market center she had just come over from Weikert, and she ran this play. And after she was doing it consistently for about 2 months. And after that, she got 2 listings from her database from here, because they put in a home value tool during the 6 weeks that we did this little boot camp. But she stayed in contact with them because they had filled this out, and within 6 months, 2 of those people ended up listing their property. The first one actually responded back after like 2 months, and then the other one was some other time there, but they listed their house within 6 months of them raising their hand and saying, I want to know more information about the value of my home. So if you guys are doing this and you stay consistent, it'll work. So with that being said, I'm gonna go back to my last slide, which just says, if there's anything, let's take like getting this into action. If there's one thing that you learned today, that you feel like you could do within the next 24 hours, what do you think it would be? Facebook ad. Okay, just run the play.
$1 a day for 30.
$1 a day for 30
I
days.
like that running.
Yeah.
Back, that's interesting.
Yeah, you just run it in the background and it kind of manipulates it. But yeah, so that 30-day and the open house thing was like such a hit. Like, hey, you want a list of all the open houses in Monmouth County? Like that was the ad. And it linked back to my website. That way, if they clicked on any of the leads or any of the other properties, even if it was an EXP agent, a Weikert, whatever, I got the notification because that they wanted information about that open house because it was on my website. So
You were your own realtor.com Zillow right there.
exactly, that's the whole point. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to make the realtor.coms and the Zillows irrelevant because people are using our mobile app and our website. 100%.
Do you specifically target on weekends to run this ad or?
So when I think it depends. I mean, if you're running it for 10 days, it doesn't really matter. For an open house, I used to run, on my dad's team, I used to run an open house ad for every single open house, just promoting that open house. And I would launch it on Thursday and I would let it play until the end of the day on Sunday. So it was 4 days. It's not the typical, but I would always without fail. And we definitely had some people that inquired about the open house that would show up. Not in the beginning, but as we did it more consistently. So I think it just depends on what it is that you're promoting, like new listings. I would do if my listings are gonna go live on Friday or Thursday or whatever day that looks like, Monday, I'm promoting coming soon. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like 2 days before the listing went live.
I think you could even old sold listings.
Yeah, 100%.
Right now I'm getting leads from Facebook, for listings that I've had
Yeah,
2 years ago.
exactly.
And they're just popping up and people are inquiring, they want more information at that point.
Yeah.
You convert them.
Absolutely. Listen, it is what it is. If they clicked on something, even if it was an old ad or an old whatever, you know what, that home is not for sale anymore, but I have all these other ones I can show you. When we're doing things like this, it's even with the home value tool, I had somebody ask me once, well, is it more accurate than Zillow? And my response was, does it matter? Because people live by Zestimates as if they are and they all know at this point now because there was the whole lawsuit against them because of the inaccuracy and all that jazz with their iBuyer or whatever the heck it was. People don't care. They just want to, they're like, okay, great, my house is worth this. Awesome. So it's not really, I mean, I can tell you based off of my parents' house that that's an accurate for that property. But does it matter? No. What matters is that you're the first person to get that lead. It's not going to Zillow where people get a Zestimate and it goes to some random agent who's part of Zillow Flex or paying more for it. You got the lead and it's somebody in your database. So you getting that instant lead and knowing that they've raised their hand and there's a possibility, because like most people are not gonna fill that out unless there's some wheel turning in their head that says, maybe I wanna sell my house. If I could get enough money, I would sell my house. That's more important than anything, is you getting that lead and you getting that notification. But, yeah, I'll get off my soapbox now, that's. You're welcome. Thank you guys again so much. And to all my friends on Zoom who joined me, I don't know where the camera is, but hi.